I seem to have created a lot of species with nowhere to live. Could they live on Earth? Sure. But where's the fun in that? Time for some sci fi world building. Literally. Let's talk about how I create planets. Hi, I'm Casey Hudson and I write sci fi novels. Today, I want to design homes for my many drifting amalgam species. Here's how I construct a planet. Like the world building government chat, this is a reverse engineering approach. So, if you're following along at home, make sure you have your species outlined first. Now, what we know about the composition of planets starts with what we know about Earth. So, I'm going to look at some of the disciplines of Earth science to make sure I give my planet some interesting features. Let's start with ecology. I think about the dominant species on the sci fi planet first when looking at designing a planet. It stands to reason that if the species is dominant, there's something about their environment that's working well for them. Because each unique biology interacts differently with various environments, I want to make sure I pay attention to the specific needs of my species. Most notable are food, shelter, temperature, and atmosphere. And, depending on the importance of ecological detail to the story, what conditions are required for that food source to remain plentiful. To ensure that the narrative stays connected to the physical properties of the world, I often work through some backstory when building ecological structures. My Sternovula, for example, begin the story in their Stone Age, but they evolve quickly. For their story and the ecology of the planet to work together, I evolve their predators into enemies and their prey into husbandry animals. This idea of ecology through time is also important to me when creating the history and future of the planet's life. How my characters flow with the non living world is just as important as how they interact with living beings. Bodies of water and land masses help a species stay dominant in its world. To put this in less abstract terms, think mountain goat. For those of you who are not familiar, mountain goats are four-legged hoofed creatures that live in mountainous areas. They're agile and so well balanced that they climb and leap along steep, rocky areas, rarely falling. And their environment is one where many of their predators are much more susceptible to fatal falls. Mountain goats are not a dominant species on Earth. But imagine what a planet with dominant mountain goats could look like. What would its geology and hydrology look like? A planet full of mountains next to oceans filled with meat eating predators? What about non mountainous areas? Maybe there are other species living on flatland areas. Geology, hydrology, and geography can also play an important role in narrative conflict. Whether people want already occupied land or are expanding across waterways, composition of planets is vital for planet development. Risks and special traits are often more about story building rather than world building. This is where a planet becomes truly unique. Maybe it has regular lightning storms or hundreds of active volcanoes, maybe sporadic earthquakes. Physics too can be played with. Thanks to different gravities or magnetic fields, people could fly without wings or just leap and bound around their neighborhoods. Resources can abound too. What is the planet's unobtainium? Does it need to be mined or perhaps filtered from the air? There's so many ways a planet's natural resources can be explored, and there are so many ways to create conflict through resource exploitation. That's actually the path I chose for my sci-fi planet, a Strafe which has many mountainous regions that are mined by peoples from other planets. But I'll tell you that story some other time. If you're interested in seeing a model of Strafe being created, check out next week's Aaron Does It Wrong video, where Aaron will show you how he made a hyper-relief globe of the Sternovula planet. Until next time, keep creating.